Hi guys, my name's Alex. I'm a producer and mixer based in London, and today I'm going to be going over the track Buzzards Leave the Bones by my new band Big Spring, and I'm just going to be talking about some of the sounds we got in the studio and some of the sounds that I sculpted at the mix stage as well. So let's jump straight into listening to some drums. Okay, what I've got going on here, I've got a small sample happening here, I've got a small sample happening here, but what they're really doing is they're just sort of one hits, so they're just leveling out dynamics basically, they're not really sculpting the tone of the drum. So if I take these guys out, then just have a listen, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, it's just there for dynamics, and it's just a thing that I like to automate in choruses and stuff like that. So when it's coming into the chorus, I'm just bumping it up here. I don't like to use samples as a crutch or anything like that. It's more just a big dynamic boost. They're obviously quite isolated, so you like crunch them up and get them to drive parallel compression and reverbs and stuff like that a little bit harder, so it's good for that as well. What else have we got here? On the toms, no samples going on. I like just to automate my tom tracks a lot of the time, because sometimes I feel that the bleed actually helps the snare. Sometimes it doesn't work, and I cut out all the stuff that I don't need. But this time I've left it all in there, and I've just automated it up, as you can see in here. Don't really touch the room mics with that much compression. I've got something here that I just called a crush mic, where I slam it on the way in, and it just sounds distorted to hell. And I really, really like that. But usually I don't really touch room mics that much. One thing I've done here is use time adjuster to nudge it back. I quite like that trick. I feel as if it just gives it a little bit of room, just lets you hear the room mic a little bit more. Big parallel compression going on there, tons of that. That's making the sound really. The kind of process I'm doing is just sort of smearing the transient and softening the top end. One cool thing that I've got going on here in the middle 8, if you're familiar with this song, I'll just play it on the lead up to it. You'll have to excuse those chipmunk vocals in the background. I'll come to that shortly. What I've got going on there, I've still not actually got the samples in there. I know it sounds like a big sample, but it's not. What I'm actually doing is on this reverb here, I've got time adjuster here again, and I'm automating that, and it's coming in just on that section, and I've got it at 2051 samples. I don't know what it is. It's in milliseconds. I don't know, maybe 100, something like that. But it's just acting like a huge pre-delay on a reverb, so it gives that slap back kind of sound. This is the reverb I'm using, LX480, comes with the Stephen Slate stuff, you might know it, it's awesome, check it out. I'm hitting it with some compression, and then distorting it on Decapitator here, I'm just automating the drive and cranking that in that section basically. Not much else to say other than that. If you want me to go into more detail on things, then I'm happy to do so. I've got some double track drums here that happen just in the section. Where is it? Let me see if I've got that on there. So just on this section, if you just hear these toms. Just a cool, big, boomy thing. I like stuff like that. Bass is the normal kind of thing. I've got a DI going on. I'm sculpting it just to get a ton of bottom end in there. 421 sounds awesome on bass cabs. M88, love it on bass cabs. The one cool thing that I have been doing to bass, when it works, it really works so well, is I like to use lo-fi in bass. I know it's one of those Pro Tools plugins and you just see it and you don't use it, but I promise you it's so good on bass, so you have to try it. Have a quick listen to this here without lo-fi. There's going to be a level jump, so you'll have to forgive that, but have a quick listen. So this is without lo-fi. And this is with lo-fi. Right, so now check out these guys together, because the bass and the drums on this track, I'm so stoked with that. Okay, let's have a quick listen to this. Right, let's jump into these guitars quite quickly. We've got a Vox AC30 on the left-hand side, and we have an orange OD100 on the other side. Some pedals going on, I can't remember exactly what. We always use pedals Even for dirty channels, most of the time we're driving it harder with pedals. On that orange on the right hand side, if you can notice, there's that octave jumping up thing. That's a whammy pedal. We've got some room mics coming in and out at various stages for guitars. Let me show you that. Cool. What else have we got here? Sorry if I'm rushing through things. I'm more than happy to make another video. The purpose of this video, I just wanted to go over the sort of sounds we were going for. I think if I were to do a mixing video, I could spend half an hour just talking about what I did to the drums. So if you want to hear more, leave me a comment. Anyway, let's jump back into this. So I've got this happening. And I've just sort of stereoified that with an Echo Boy. Let me drop that in and have a listen to that in the mix. It's not very prominent, but it definitely works. Have a listen to that. When it does that second octave up, it just gets you stoked just before the chorus comes in, and the chorus is huge, so it just really works. Another thing, just for fatness, when the verse sort of introduces itself, it's a really cool riff. I know I'm talking about my music in the most favourable terms, but I absolutely love it. I've gone through a period of not enjoying doing music, and now I'm just loving it again, so sorry to be this stoked. But have a listen to this. This is a cool thing that I quite like to do just for chunking things out. Check this out. This is a POG in front of maybe the Orange, maybe the AC30, I can't remember. But you'll get the idea. Have a listen to this. Love that. Love that. If a band just had that as their main tone, I'd be so into it. What I'm using here, I'm using R-Bass. This is sort of a sub-harmonic generator, I guess. Something like that. So I've just got this adding some beef down below. So let's do a quick with and without. Just sounds low without it, but sounds dense with it. So I like that, really like that. Then what have we got going on here? I think this is just a dirty guitar when it sort of re-intros. With some hallway mics. It's just the right aesthetic for that section. I'll just play it. And with those big boomy toms as well that come in, that just really works. Just keeps it super interesting. Then I'm doing something similar to those chunky guitars that I just played you in the verse for the chorus. But the timing on it's super simple. It just gives a nice... It almost makes it labour. It's a pretty cool thing. It definitely works. Let me play this for you. And let me play that in there. It's subtle, but you can just sort of feel it. You know what I mean? It's just cool. You can just throw the kitchen sink at a chorus, really. You need to find the right balance in the mix. Here I've got some acoustic guitars as well in the chorus. Again, it's dynamics, and it just it really complements the fat chorus guitar. So let me play you this acoustic. So that's pretty cool. That sounds nice. We didn't even record that at the studio. That I've just brought that in, just imported the session data from when we did the demo. We had a demo for this track, and that was just my acoustic into an SM7, into this Empirical Labs Mikey channel strip, and then as simple as that. So it didn't even warrant re-recording. We got back round to it when we were at the studio. Tambourine in this last chorus. I love the sound of a tambourine on a snare drum. And I say, Let me show you this lead guitar, the sort of solo-y bit. Pretty wicked sound there, and again, that's just I think we must have just forgotten to record it when we were down in the studio, so I just brought that in from the demo again. I've just got this time adjuster, so it's nudging it back into a pan man that's doing that sort of left to right, almost like a tremolo thing, I guess. If I just solo that for you. I love that. It really just sort of fucks you up a bit. I like that. I think it works. Anyway, let me play you how these vocals sound.
I've been waiting for too long. Every day fades into the past. Uninvited yet.
So it's a pretty standard kind of big delay thing with a really long tail, reverb. Then I've got this little altar boy situation going on. They are basically monophonic voice manipulators. They're just like pitch shifters. They kind of do a whammy pedal thing for vocals. I've put some vocals through a whammy pedal for this track anyway, but they're awesome, and I've kind of become addicted to using them. And for this track, they really, really work. If I just play you in this chorus, for instance, this is just the effects. So yeah, that crazy thing, I've just called it Mad Vox here. I absolutely love it. It just really, really works for the track. Let me just hear all the vocals in the chorus. So we've got the main vocal, double, triple, vocal harmony here, then a double of that, another vocal harmony here, and then a double of that. We've got 1 octave down harmony, a 2 octave down harmony, just because the chorus is so high. It just sort of worked. We just wanted to try it, and then it sounded cool. Let's have a listen to that.
Us, it's in our sight. It finds us, it's in our sight.
Love that. The last thing I wanted to show you is just this little bit of weirdness going on down here, and the way we achieved this is sort of splitting the vocal signal straight from the mic, going into a reamp box, then just going into our pedals, shifted it up 2 octaves using a whammy pedal, and then just mucked around playing with pedals whilst you're tracking it. And it means you get the element of the vocal performance and mucking around with a pedal board at the same time. It's tactile and you're moving things, so that in itself is a performance. So you're just making this amazing individual thing. So just take a listen to this quickly. I really think this is cool. So I love that. I think that sounds great. I've stuck some lo-fi on these two and left these two. Again, just if you're processing one thing on one side in one way and something on the other side in a totally different way, it just makes the middle seem more vast. So let's have a listen to that section just with everything. It's such a cool section. Pretty cool, that's working for me. Anyway, well that just about covers it really for this song in terms of the sounds that we've got. My only real advice to you guys would be just to get creative when you're tracking and apply that same mindset when you're mixing as well. It's all about serving the song and doing something individual. So I hope this video has been insightful and it's helped in some way. If you've got any of your own tips that you bring to the mixing stage to keep it interesting, I'd genuinely love to hear them, so please let me know in a comment. If you'd like to work with me, if you'd like me to mix some of your own music, head on over to my website, www.alexloring.com, and let's chat about working together. Cheers, guys.